What do you think? Is it time for another call, Adam? Are we ready for another person?
I think so.
All right. Well,
Yes.
let's go down to Florida and we'll talk with Patrick, he, him. Patrick wants to ask, do we think agnosticism and atheism can lead to nihilism? So Patrick, you're on with SR and Adam. How are you?
Hi, yes, I'm doing pretty good. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I think we've chatted before in the past, man. I'll be honest, I can answer this super duper quick. I would really love to know what Adam's thoughts are, but yeah, I'd say yes, but also I kind of feel like anything can. I don't know that it's specific to agnosticism or atheism, but Adam, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think agnosticism and atheism can lead to nihilism?
I would like to know first what you mean by nihilism.
Oh yeah.
So do you?
Like, to me, nihilism would mean this life would be just absolutely fruitless. Like, we
Mm,
live and die, and it means absolutely nothing at all. That's what I've been coming to lately. I'm like, okay, I don't believe in a personal God, so I don't believe someone's out there looking out for me. I guess I could pray to the universe as an agnostic and take the agnostic's wager there that says, well, maybe a God exists, so I might as well make a prayer. It can't hurt. I don't know,
mm,
but it's crazy to me. I think this life, if it's fruitless, then why do we even exist? Why even live? How do you find meaning in life?
mm,
So my take on that is I don't think agnosticism is can lead to nihilism because it's based in the we don't know what's beyond. So agnosticism is basically not taking any assertive stand in a way. It basically admits where what we know and where we don't have the answers
mm,
currently, maybe temporarily. Um, and that is not to say that life is meaningful or meaningless. It's just we don't see any meaning beyond that
mm.
point. So I don't think agnosticism specifically lead to nihilism. Um, as for atheism, I think it could. And as you said earlier, I don't think it's only atheism. A lot of
Mm,
ideas can lead to nihilism. At the end of the day, I personally think that we give meaning to life, however, and whatever ideology
yeah.
or belief system we may embrace for that. But at the end of the day, it's through you as the filter, you give meaning to life and make the best of it. I don't think it is objective meaning. It is very subjective meaning to life.
Yeah, and I would totally agree with that, Adam, and say that, generally when I'm talking about nihilism, the way that I think about it, Patrick, is more kind of in that sense where Adam was going, where it's not that individual momentary things don't matter, right? Like I have friends, I have family, like spending time with them matters to me, eating food when I'm hungry matters to me, right? Like if I really, really have to go to the bathroom, like that matters to me, right? But the idea that when my life is over, when everything's said and done for SR, right? And we're closing the book and the lights are turning out, there's not going to be any entity or any like objective marker that people can go back and like look at everything and be like, ah, yes, he definitely mattered here, and like this was super important for all of existence and yada yada. I think where we matter is locally, is with the people around us, and if we can make more of an impact on a larger scale, that's awesome. If as long as it's for benefiting everybody, and kind of that tide that rises all boats and stuff. But yeah, in general, I honestly find that to be a really cool thought because it means that I no longer have to be concerned about whether or not I'm doing what this, all powerful entity wants me to do, whether that's God or the universe or Allah, whatever. Like Adam said, I kind of get to make that decision, and that makes me feel a lot more fulfilled and a lot more comforted. So, but we've shouted a lot at you, Patrick. Give us some thoughts here.
I think though that coming from like that secular humanist standpoint, like I think maybe your perspective. I don't want to straw man you, but it seems like you have more hope in humanity and that kind of thing. Like that wouldn't be a nihilistic perspective to me. Like I feel like I've been an unwanted nihilist lately. Like I'm like, is this life really fruitless? Is it like once we die, then we're soon erased? Then when the last person that remembers us forgets us or dies or whatever, or did it mean anything at all? I've really struggled with that. I don't know.
Why is it sounds like it's an upsetting thought for you. Why is it something that bothers you? The idea that after you're gone, nobody may remember you or anything. Why does that upset you?
It's just like, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the nihilism that says like, your life really, did it have any meaning? And it seems like to me, no, not at all. And, we're just like an insect to me. Here lately, I've been thinking about it. We think so highly of ourselves as human beings, highly evolved. We're just the most intelligent thing we can see or think we are. Maybe the dolphins are smarter. We don't know. But seriously,
Nice,
though, and not joking around, I think we are like insects, and when we die, we live and die like a bug. We die like a bug, and that's the nihilism that's coming up, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but why is that upsetting to you? That's kind of that's what, when I first started kind of having these thoughts, because I think there are a lot of us that go through kind of a more whenever we're in that kind of deconstructing, deconverting, rethinking our beliefs and stuff. A lot of us that step away from a religious belief have these kind of thoughts for a little bit. Some go a little bit more hardcore, some it doesn't really matter and they move on. But for me, when I really started investigating why I was uncomfortable with that thought, I came back to this very, very simple thing that I really do think applies to a lot of us is we really seem to like life, like for the most part, like more often than not, like we enjoy being alive because that's where we get to do all the coolest things that happen in life, right? Once you're dead, you don't get to have any more super cool experiences in this world at the very least. We can just put aside the question of whether or not there is anything extra after you die. I don't think there is, and I think there's really good reason to not believe that. But let's even just leave that on the table. At the very least, we accept that once we die here, our time is done here, you know? And now we got to go on to this other thing. And for a lot of us, that other thing gives us comfort just because we really like this experience a lot. So for me, the idea that after I'm dead, none of this really matters anymore, it doesn't bother me because the time that I am here is the best time that I'm going to be able to have. And if I don't take advantage of that and I don't try my hardest to help other people when I can, then I'm missing it. Excuse me, I'm missing out on something here. And that's what's upsetting for me. The idea that after I'm gone and 100 years go by and nobody watches these videos or anything, like that doesn't affect me because I think about all the stuff that I maybe could have done better, you know? And again, that just kind of goes back to where Adam was talking about at the beginning, where like, hey, it finally opens up that chance for us to say, hey, this is what matters to me. And I don't have to be concerned that, me having sex before marriage is some, grievous error by the universe or this all-knowing entity or something. Like, I don't have to be concerned about punishment afterwards for not spending, 5 times a day facing Mecca and praying. I don't have to be concerned about that. I can instead use that time to go help a neighbor or call up a family member I haven't seen in a while. And yeah, maybe 100 years from now, that phone call just doesn't mean jack shit to the world at large. But that's okay, because my mom really enjoyed that conversation, and we got to talk about stuff, you know? Before we throw it back to you, Patrick, let me get some more thoughts from Adam here. I talked too much. Yeah, Adam, I mean, does it bum you out, the thought that 100 years after you're gone, like, you know, you may not be remembered, or you may not have anything still here, or how do you feel about that?
It doesn't bother me at all, and to be honest, I have two thoughts about this. One is the butterfly effect. Just
Mm,
because I do not comprehend my impact in this world, and I cannot measure it, whether I will be remembered or not, that doesn't mean I'm not leaving a footprint
good
uh,
point.
behind, and that footprint can be very impactful in 1,000 years from now. It's just it's a comforting thought. It's not
Mm,
what I'm trying to say is that the butterfly effect is not measurable. That's one thing. But what another comforting thought I have is, and I would ask this, I would put it in a question for Patrick. Are you bothered or troubled by the fact that you did not exist before you were born?
mm,
So basically, you're living in this life from, let's say, you're going to live 70, 80, 90, 100 years. You're living from 0 to 90, let's say. If you were not bothered by the fact that you did not exist before the 0,
mm,
why are you so bothered that you do not exist after 90? So
yeah.
the before and after is the same. Um, so these are my two thoughts around this.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Very good points. Yeah, give us a shout back to us, Patrick.
I was thinking I'd send my ripple into the pond when he said that. I like that.
Mhm.
That does give a sense of hope. But suffice it to say, I wanted to say this to you guys too while I was thinking about it. Any idea of heaven would be a hell to me, and here's why. An infinite paradise with no pushback, no struggle.
Sounds
No,
boring.
it's all easy. It's all sunshine and
Yeah,
rainbows every day. That would be a hell to me.
yeah.
Heaven, the concept of heaven would be hell to me. Don't send me. I don't want to go. Beyond that, I appreciate the pushback from atheists. I just really feel like agnosticism is the most true and correct way. But I think atheism is, even agnostic atheism is an overcorrection, because I don't see how you can make a claim either way about God as an agnostic since about age 8. I've returned to that. I like pantheism, but I can't be sure of pantheism, so I've got to return to the true default agnostic, 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 no agnostic atheist, no agnostic theist, just agnostic without all of that.
Well, I think
And
I
that's
think it's
just where I stand.
yeah, and I think it's good that you've you've actually been investigating, and you've been questioning these things and trying to really look at them from a more critical lens, because I think that's just what we should all do. Even though I've said for a good few years now, like, hey, I don't believe in God, or pretty much any version that I've ever heard. I think they all fail somewhere. But I still try to spend time investigating that, and getting comments from religious folk, or spiritual folk, or pantheists, or just whatever, because it is valuable to always, question that. But Patrick, we're gonna let you go, man, and we always appreciate you giving us a call.